Lots of European football to come this weekend in BT Sport 1 from the Bundesliga today, 5:30. It's Cologne against Hertha Berlin. And then Serie A later after that, Lazio against Juventus. Juve the leaders, 7:30. And tomorrow at 11 AM as well, also BT Sport 1 from Serie A, it's Torino against Sassuolo. It's all ended maroon at Tynecastle, a big day in the title race. Jason Holt with a lovely opener. Jamie Walker sealed it then from the penalty spot. Reaction now with Mark Weedy. Jason Holt is alongside Callum Patterson.
Jason, terrific victory for Hearts. You got the opening goal. It was a cracker. You must be delighted with it.
Yeah, I'm over the moon. For myself it's good, but most importantly it was for the team, and we went into this game looking for 3 points like every other game, and thankfully we've managed to get them. You're
now 9 points ahead of Rangers. Is the title yours to throw away?
We're in a good position just now, but like I said, we go into every game looking for 3 points, and today was no different. Next week obviously we've got the cup, and then once we're back to league duty we'll be looking to get 3 points again.
Callum, there appeared to be no hiding place out there for any player. Did you enjoy that 90 minutes?
Of course I enjoyed it. I mean, the atmosphere was electric, and the boys played really well as a team.
You were the victim of the challenge from Stevie Smith that got my red card. Can you talk us through it?
It's not really for me to say. I mean, it was just a heat at the moment. I'm sure he won't do it again, but it's just a silly decision from him at the time. It was accidental, and he won't do it again, I don't think.
How good a position now is this for Hearts to be in?
Oh, it's just a massive position to be in, but it's a long season and we've still got a lot of games to go, and we can easily be caught up, but as of now we're looking in a great position.
Do you think Rangers will still be dangerous opponents, Jason?
Yeah, of course. Every team in the league's dangerous, In this league there's no easy games, and it showed this season with a lot of the teams. Like I said, if we can just keep doing the business, then hopefully we'll have a chance.
Callum, you're the BT Sport Man of the match. Jason, can you do the honours? Well done, lads.
Thank you very much.
Big day for Hearts. Stephen Craigan's here, Stuart McCall too, Davy Weir and Michael Stewart. We've just taken a little walk out on the pitch because this was the scene of a massive 90 minutes today in the Championship, and what a result it was for Hearts in the end, Stuart.
It was in the end. I think if you look at all the key moments in the game, obviously the sending off changed the course of the game. The penalty kick, and I think if you look at Hearts' goal, it's a fantastic finish by the boy Hall, but Rangers are quite unfortunate. McCulloch defends it well, hits off McGregor, and it falls in his path. So I think all the key moments went Hearts' way today, but over the 90 minutes they'll probably feel as though they've deserved it.
It's a big day, isn't it, in the title race, Stephen?
It was. I thought getting into the game mentally it was a big challenge for the Hearts players. I think Davey touched on it before the game that when you're chasing a team down, it's a little bit easier, and I think it affected a few of them today. You could see the performance wasn't the level that it's been at, but still to then go and win the game. Robbie Nielsen and his players will be absolutely delighted.
Davey, did Hearts really deserve that in the end?
I thought second half they were the better team. They came in, they imposed themselves on it. Great bit of quality for the goal, and that was the turning point. Sending off, obviously, can argue about that, but a little bit of quality win the game, so that's nice to see.
Michael, Hearts fans are obviously absolutely delighted after this, and no wonder. What a day for Robbie Nielsen and his team to go 9 points clear.
Yeah, it's big. I was thinking at half time it was a big half time for Robbie, because Rangers were the better team in the first half, even though Hearts came into it laterally. And it was, we've spoken about the fact that it was a mentally tough game. Hearts are in front, they're getting chased, and it was a tough game for them. And I think, to come out in the second half and put the performance in that they did, I think that shows that there is strength in that changing room, and it's a big result for them.
And Michael, this was Hearts without some of their main players. No, the captain, Danny Wilson, not there today. Osman Sow, their top scorer today. There's more to come, isn't there, from them?
Yeah, I think that those guys are real big players for them, and I think you saw that in the first half as well. They're the leaders of the team, and they were lacking that a little bit. And, Stuart made a good point there, though, that the key moments of the game, they went Hearts' way, and ultimately in big games like that, if you get that going your way, it can just be the difference between getting the points and not.
Of course, the red card made a massive difference to the game when Stephen Smith was sent off, and the Rangers management team might not agree with the decision, but they'll be disappointed in Stephen Smith, because it was a big call to put him in today, wasn't it, with Fraser Aird back and David Templeton?
Yeah, it was sort of a game that we thought that that might be the case, but I think when you look at it again, it's one you can understand the red card, but it's a bit of a silly lunge. It's reckless, and when you say reckless, then that now leads to a red card. So, but it was at a stage of the game where Rangers had started the game better, they were forceful. I mean, I don't think Hearts had even been in Rangers' penalty box, but big decisions like that change it, and that was the case today.
Well carried as we walked back there. You did well. We're back at the desk, and we'll have a look at the first goal then. It was a real piece of magic really by Jason Holt, wasn't it, in the finish, Davey?
It was a good ball in. Lee's done really well to clear that little deflection, but like I said, that's a bit of quality to finish that. It's really well, good technique, good quality, and a fitting end.
Michael, great strike, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I think from a Rangers perspective, it is unfortunate that it's dropped to to Jason Holt there. But the other thing is, where's the midfield? Rangers are playing a defensive game at that point. They're under the cosh. There's no midfield, and within 10 yards of Jason Holt, especially when you're under pressure like that, and you want to give your defence some cover. There's a huge gap there when that ball drops him, and take nothing away from the finish. That is a top draw strike from Jason Holt.
One would soon quickly become two, actually, because Jamie Walker then scored from the spot. And Stephen, when you see this, is it a definite penalty? Ian Black certainly didn't agree.
Well, I think it's a little bit clumsy. I think Walker's always looking for the contact. He's always waiting to be hit. But that's where Ian Black has to be clever. You can't rush in behind somebody. Yes, he's desperate to get the ball back, and he's desperate to get back and play. Then you're looking for a little bit of composure. I think the game's nearly done by this stage anyway. But good composure, just puts a final nail in the coffin.
Great 3 points for Robbie Neilson, Hearts head coach. Let's hear from him now. Back over to Mark.
Robbie, you told us before the game you were confident of winning it, and it turned out to be that way.
Yeah, I'm pleased with the result, and I thought the sending off had a huge bearing in the game. I thought it was very even. Probably Rangers had the better of the play before that. We couldn't seem to get out, and then the sending off changes the game. And then we can get a bit of possession.
You've mentioned the red card. Do you think it was a red card for Stevie Smith?
It's hard to tell. I'm kind of behind it in the dugout, so I need to see it the TV again. But the referee made the decision. There was a lot of strong challenges today. We knew it was going to be like that from both teams. So the ref made his decision, and it's up to him.
Jason Holt, his first start in 2 months, and he repaid you today.
Yeah, he's a really good player, and I knew when he came in he would work for us, and he would do the right things and get his opportunities, and he did that. It took us a while to get him into the game, but when we did, he's got fantastic ability.
And his strike was something special.
Yeah, he's got great technique. He's just found it really hard to get in the team. We've had a lot of good performances in there, and he's had to bide his time, and the formation we play can make it hard for him to come in. But I thought today was excellent.
You're now 9 points clear of Rangers. Is the title yours to throw away?
No, there's still a long way to go, and believe me, there's a long way to go. There's a lot of hard games coming up for us. We need to keep working day to day and week to week and continue to do the right things, and we're not going to get carried away here. We need to make sure that we keep our feet in the ground and continue to work hard, because it's a long, hard season.
Thanks, Robbie.
Thank you.
They don't need to get carried away. It's going that well for Robbie Neilson right now. But the big moment in the game, the big talking point came early on. Stephen Smith sent off. It's what we just mentioned. But Stuart, for you now, looking back on it, I know you weren't sure at half-time. Have you changed your mind? Did you stick with it?
No matter how many times I watch it in slow motion, I'm still not sure that actually, it's a red. I mean, you can understand it, as I keep saying, because he lunges in, he's reckless. The referees association will tell you if you leave the ground and things like that, it can be. So, as I said before, I can understand why you give a red card, but even watching it now, I thought it was a really difficult game to referee. There must have been a dozen, yellow cards.
You thought it was red though, Michael?
I think it's just in the modern game, those sort of tackles. I think David said at half-time, he gave the referee a decision to make, and I can understand, why the referee's giving him the red card there.
There were plenty of big calls for Craig Thompson in this game, but Kenny Miller was taken off shortly after a foul. It was a foul on Kevin McCarthy as well. He was injured, and there are question marks over whether this was as bad as Stephen Smith's challenge. Have a look, Davey, and see what you think.
Probably worse for me, that one. His foot's up, and and the lad's gone off injured, so there's obviously some contact, some momentum behind it. So I thought that was actually a worse challenge. And at the end of the day, the referee makes the decisions, but the Rangers players have made them make decisions, and it's a yellow or it's a red. And if you keep doing that often enough, then a few reds will come out.
I hope he's okay, of course.
I think the difference with that one though is that he's come across him, whereas with Stevie's it's straight on at him, and also the ball travels where he's come in. It's gone away, and it looks as if Kenny's got a little touch in it. But yeah, I think that's just as bad, if not worse, than the tackle that Stevie Smith got sent off with.
And then the home fans reacted to a challenge by Chris Boyd as well towards the end of the game. And Stephen, I'll come to you in this one. Was this another bad one?
Well, if he's going by Stevie Smith's tackle, that's a red card as well. It'll be an interesting meeting that Craig Thompson has at the start of the week with the referee's assessor to try and explain why he's given one and why he hasn't given the other. He can maybe speak about moments in the game and the time in the game and the game is away. Irrespective, you have to judge it on its merit. Is it a bad tackle? Is it a red card? Kenny Miller should have been a red, and I think Chris should have been red as well.
Chris Boyd is out there warming down right now, and it was very disappointing for him, and that was a flashpoint. But there were so many in the game, weren't there, Stuart?
Yeah, I thought it was a really difficult game to referee. I don't know how many cards Craig gave out. There was a lot of late challenges and petty challenges, but you expect that. It's such a massive game, and then I think, as you said, the last one there was with Boyd. It looks probably the biggest red card of them all.
It's worth saying as well, by the way, in the second tier referees get £195 to referee these games, £840 for the Premiership games. Negotiations are ongoing. No wonder when you hear things like that. I mean, it's nationwide audience, national TV game, and You really are under the spotlight, aren't they, these referees?
Well, especially, this isn't a championship game. This is a top flight game. But, and you're right. The full focus of the country is on these games, and there was a lot of tough decisions to make today. But I don't think the Rangers players helped them. I think that Ali McCoy will be looking at this game, during the week, and he'll look at, we spoke about the key moments in the game not going Rangers' way. But I don't think the Rangers players helped. There was a bit of ill-discipline in some of those tackles, and I think that ultimately that Rangers have paid the price because of that.
Rangers were very close to getting back into this game, though. In fact, very close when Nicky Law first of all had a shot that was saved, and then it came off the post. I mean, Rangers had a spell in the game. They played well, didn't they?
They did, yeah, and that was probably, as Stuart said, the big sort of moments in the game didn't quite go their way. That's a big chance. I think it's 1-0 at a time, isn't it? And he's got a chance to even it up there and get them back in the game. Yeah, so that's, you need those moments to happen for you to get a result in a game like this. It was always going to be a tight game. Rangers were, in the ascendancy in the first half. Hearts had probably had the better of the second half. So these big moments have got to go your way.
They probably didn't test the goalkeeper enough, did they? As much as in the first half as they had the ball and good possession, they even went down to 10 men. Hearts, Rangers pushed and probed. This is the only real time they really tested Neil Alexander, got men in the box, got men round about the ball. That'll be the big disappointment for Ali McCoy.
Also a great block by Eckersley, wasn't it?
At first we thought the keeper had saved it. I mean, Lawsy can strike him like that. Good save, and Eckersley does really well to push it onto the post. But when things aren't going your way, that sometimes happens.
There was a penalty shout right after that as well. Nicky Law was involved in so much, and well, it wasn't given. Was this a dive, Michael?
Do you know, it's one of those where he's almost anticipating that the tackle's going to come in, so I can understand why he goes down. But I mean, there is no doubt that there isn't any contact here. But just as he's getting there, he's trying to nick his toe in front of Patterson there. He's anticipating that Patterson's going to come across him. I mean, it is a dive, but I don't think there's any malicious intent there.
It's not a good day for Rangers overall, though. I mean, Ali McCoy had said this is a bigger game than the Old Firm game coming up in terms of their season, so it's a huge blow.
It is. Anytime you lose a game as a Rangers player or a Rangers manager, it's a big blow, and that's the environment you come in and you accept that when you become part of Rangers.
Let's hear from Ali McCoy now. Back over to Mark.
Ali, the red card seemed to change the game. What was your view on Stevie Smith sending off?
Extremely disappointing. Obviously I think he's let himself and let the teammates down. I haven't seen it again, but my initial reaction was it was very, very late. And I thought the referee was going to go straight for his red card. And what was equally disappointing at that particular time, I thought we were a better team by a good considerable way. Even when we went down to 10 men, I thought for the remainder of the first half we were playing some reasonable stuff. But no, extremely disappointed in the sending off because it definitely had a major effect on the game.
You're now 9 points behind Hearts, but can you still get into this race and win the title?
Absolutely. No, we have to. I mean, we're not halfway through the season yet. And as I say, today's a setback and a big disappointment. But, we'll dust ourselves down. There's a long, long way to go, a lot of football to be played, and we firmly believe we can win the league.
You still got confidence and belief in yourself, Ali, that you can see it through?
Absolutely. You have to believe in yourself. I firmly believe that I can do the job, as can the players out there. And that's what it's going to take. It's going to take a lot of hard work. But you have to have belief, and I certainly have that.
Do you hope that you'll be given the time by the board to see this through? Because you've won the 2 titles, you're now in the last chance to get to the Premiership.
Yeah, I hope so. Obviously, I want to be given the opportunity to do that. As I say, today's a setback, a disappointment. We've had setbacks and disappointments before, and the secret is to bounce back strongly from them, and that's hopefully what we'll do.
Over the piece of 90 minutes today, were you proud of your players, and do you think you maybe just didn't carry that wee bit of luck that you need?
Well, certainly, I mean, we had a couple of great chances there as well at 1-0. My overriding feeling at the moment is one of disappointment. Certainly, and I'm angry at the sending off. I have to tell you that. In terms of the effort the boys put in, I mean, for 10 men, we're still trying to go and win the game. We made substitutions to hopefully try and nick a goal at 1-0. Their effort was absolutely first class, but a little bit naive on occasions. And I thought there was 1 or 2 silly fouls we gave away in the second half that obviously didn't help matters either.
Thanks, Ali.
Thank you.
Well, I think you would expect probably after a game like this, a defeat like this, the fact they've dropped 5 points in a week in the title race, that major questions will be asked of his team, of him as well. Stuart?
Tough questions to field there, but I think it's time now for the experienced players in the camp to stand up. Again, as I say, the sending off changes the game completely. Rangers came out and started well, but the bottom line is they've lost the game. So it's down to the experienced players in that dressing room now to really lead from the front in the next game.
Can they get back into the title race very briefly?
It's going to be a huge ask. I think if they play the way they did in the opening 20-25 minutes, certainly they can. OK, gentlemen, thank you very much indeed. Massive day for Hearts in the title race. Clear point they've made. Catch us if you can. Over to Sports Hub now and Paul Dempsey. Paul, all yours.